Good morning to you all, or afternoon for me, I guess. It's way past my time, but my. Gotta wake up. Ugh. It's just those long activities and long days that gets me all. Well, and most of it is my fault for staying up time to time. I guess it's just keep watch. But again, I don't need to watch. God watches over us, and He does. Um, it's just amazing how He never sleeps. He never gets tired. And here, this verse and the scriptures that we're gonna present to you as okay. So this dish comes from afar, from the valleys of wild flowers. And here's why, because this is going to get very beautiful and very awe inspiring. Because take a look at the stars and how many there are. To God, they're just pieces of rocks. And once again, it's the symbol that represents the Holy Trinity. Uh, you all may find it. I have several times and found it. But I think within different seasons, it will be time for me to change things up a bit. So within New Year's, I normally do something new. Even though I get tired and mopey, just like any other human being, um, I get sometimes emotional and stuff like that. And not emotional about the political areas, but um, emotional about other stuff. The important stuff, not the wishy washy type of stuff. But anyways, let's begin our morning devotion. That's gonna make a huge impact for us. So as promised, I know one of the viewers has seen the video yesterday, and uh, and I was talking about how so much is involved within God's hands. So we got Isaiah 41:10 for as the morning devotion. Isaiah 41:10. All right, and I'm lying down and I'm comfortable. So let's begin. All right. Fear not, for I am with you. And it's just a wonderful encouragement. I'm gonna read the whole thing because it's. Oh, I think it's idols or idols. Yeah, idols. Fear not, for I am with you. Keep silent before me, O islands, and let the people renew their strength. Let them come near. Then let them speak. Let us come near together to judgment. Who raised up the righteous man from the east, called him to his foot, gave the nations before him, and made him rule over kings? He gave them as the dust to his sword, and as driven stubble to his bow. He pursued them and passed safely, even by the way that he had not gone with his feet. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, the first and the last. I am He. This isles saw it. He's talking about himself. It's not me, by the way. So when he says I'm He, it does not mean that it is me. It is He. The isles saw it and feared. The ends of the earth were afraid, drew near and came. They helped every one his neighbor, and every one said to his brother, "We be of good courage." Ah, look at that. So the carpenter encouraged the goldsmith, and he that smootheth with the hammer, him that smote the anvil, saying, "It is ready for the soldering." And he fastened it with nails, that it should not be moved. But thou, Israel, art my servant, Jacob, whom I have chosen, the seed of Abraham my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God. I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee. Yea, I will uphold thee with the right hand of my righteousness. Behold, all that they that were incensed against thee shall be ashamed and confounded. They shall be as nothing, and they that strive with thee shall perish. Thou shalt seek them and shalt not find them, even them that contended with thee. They that war against thee shall be as nothing, and as a thing of naught. For I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand, saying unto thee, Fear not, I will help thee. Fear not, thou worm Jacob. Oh my, yeah. That is very amazingly, astoundingly bold. And our Father has every right to be bold with his people and the nation itself, Israel, Jacob. And ye men of Israel, I will help thee, saith the Lord, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. Behold, I will make thee a new sharp threshing instrument having teeth. Thou shalt thresh the mountains and beat them small, and shalt make the hills as chaff. Thou shalt fan them, and the wind shall carry them away, and the whirlwind shall scatter them. And thou shalt rejoice in the Lord, and shalt glory in the Holy One of Israel. When the poor and needy seek water, and there is none, and their tongue faileth for thirst, I, the Lord, will hear them. I, the God of Israel, will not forsake them. I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness a pool of water, and they draw in the dry land springs of water. I will plant in the wilderness the cedar, the shittah tree, and the myrtle and the oil tree. I will set in the desert the fir tree, and the pine and the box tree together, that they may see and now and consider and understand together that the hand of the Lord hath done this, and the Holy One of Israel hath created it. The futility of idols. Produce your cause, saith the Lord. Bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. I love this. This is awesome. Let them bring them forth and shew us what shall happen. Let them shew the former things, what they be, that we may consider them and know the later end of them, or declare us things from to come. Shew the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Ye do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Oh, I should definitely keep this. Oh, this is awesome. This is our King Almighty confronting the non existent gods, the futility of idols. Excuse me. Still sleepy. But anyways, I'm gonna have to highlight this and keep it under lock and key, because this is awesome reasoning that Father has given. Okay, so that. There we go. Okay, I gotta copy this. And then keep it in my notes. I can get rid of this. Kind of replacing it. And then I go to clipboard down here. And then that's saved. And I gotta put it as a special gem under lock and key. There we go. And then I can actually take care of my clipboard a little bit here. Oh my, I got lots of things down here. I guess I don't need this. Pardon me, guys. Getting a little sidetracked back to, but we'll return shortly. Okay, got it all sorted out. Bam, bam, bam. Let's see. Gotta close this out. Bam. Okay. So back to it. So I'm gonna read from the start, and I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. Um, the futility of idols. Produce your cause, and saith the Lord, bring forth your strong reasons, saith the King of Jacob. Let them bring them forth, and shew us what shall happen. Let them shew the former things, what they be, that we may consider them, and know the later the end of them, or declare us things from for to come. Shew the things that are to come hereafter, that we may know that ye are gods. Ye do good or do evil, that we may be dismayed and behold it together. Behold, ye are of nothing, and your work of naught. An abomination is he that chooseth you. So basically, what our Lord Almighty is saying is that the statues and the rest of the celebrities and all the medals that people put on themselves and all sorts of things on their bodies, pretty much. For they are nothing. They're just pagan, non existing gods at all. It's a confrontation, pretty much. I have raised up one from the north, and he shall come from the rising of the sun, shall he call upon my name, and he shall come upon princes as upon mortar, and as the potter treadeth clay, who hath declared from the beginning that we may know, and before time that we may say, He is righteous? Ye, there is none that sheweth. Ye, there is none that declareth. Ye, there is none that heareth your words. I love this. Father's reasonings are so amazing. I wouldn't even be able to argue against that because it's right on point. It's so obvious that I don't know why would they continue to do it, to do their stupidity and fall down into idols. People are so obsessed with music these days, and that's becoming their idol, and all sorts of other things. While I shall be on fire for the Lord Almighty until the last breath that I draw. I have no arguments, I have no quarrels with any of the people that watch on this channel, and not absolutely with no God at all. I have no quarrels, which means I have no fights, I have no arguments, no. I mean, I could have strong reasonings, but no, I don't. The first shall say to Zion, Behold, behold them, and I will give to Jerusalem one that bringeth good tidings. For I beheld, and there was no man, even among them, and there was no counselor, that, when I asked of them, could answer a word. Oh, great mentioning, especially when Mr. Christian was mentioning this particular verse. So, for I beheld, and there was no man, even among them, and there was no counselor, that when I asked of them could answer a word. So, normally when we seek the answer from the um, false preachers and popes and priests, or Pharisees, let's say, and all those other false professors that they think that they're small little gods, which they're not. When we seek an answer from them, they don't even have it because they know the true reality of God's existence. The one true living Almighty. So we all can get the basic sense of here. But anyways, let's get to it. I've been sidetracked for a little bit, long while now. Behold, they are all vanity. Their works are nothing. Their molten images are wind and confusion. Basically, they're fantasies and imaginations. They're nothing, to be honest. That is the reality that we live in. People go so far that they have an excuse to become something or someone else. That's more like a pretending of the mind, or some illness within the mind. That's a nice way to put it. But anyways, as promised, listen very carefully. This is powerful and very encouraging. So, and the spot of his children. So let's do this. Okay, I did it again. Being sidetracked a little bit. God has a strong reserve which we to discharge this engagement. For he is able to do all things, believer, till thou canst drain dry the ocean of, omnipotence, till thou canst break into pieces the towering mountains of almighty strength. Thou never needest to fear. Think not that the strength of men shall ever be able to overcome the power of God. Whilst the earth's huge pillars stand, thou hast enough reason to abide firm in thy faith. The same God who directs the earth in its orbit, who feeds the burning furnace of the sun and trims the lamps of heaven, has promised to supply thee with daily strength, while he is able to uphold the universe. Dream not that he will prove unable to fulfill his own promises. Remember what he did in the days of old, in the former generations. Remember how he spake, it was done, how he commanded, and it stood fast. Shall he that created the world grow weary? He hangeth the world upon nothing. Shall he who doth this be unable to support his children? Shall he be unfaithful to his word for want of power? Who is it that restrains the tempest? Doth not he ride upon the wings of the wind, and make the clouds his chariots, and hold the ocean in the hollow of his hand? How can he fail thee, when he has put such a faithful promise as this on record? Wilt thou for a moment indulge the thought that he has outpromised himself and gone beyond his power to fulfill? Ah, no, thou canst doubt no longer. O thou who art my God and my strength, I can believe that this promise shall be fulfilled, for the boundless reservoir of thy grace can never be exhausted, and the overflowing storehouse of thy strength can never be emptied by thy friends or rifled by thine enemies. Ah, it's so soothing and encouraging. Ah, I love it. I I would love to meet Isaiah, God's child and God's prophet. Only Father knows where he is right now. Oh man, that will be exciting times. Lord willing, of course. Lord willing. Would like to meet each individual. I mean, that's going to be a long journey, long conversations of many other things. What they have experienced, and again, God's eternity is so vast and it's more than shocking. It just shakes you to the core. Your small, teeny speck in space as a human being is just, it's enormous and it's more than shaken to the core. But, anyways, I'll finish this with the poem that we have down here. I'm still hugely encouraged. Now that Father has silenced my thoughts, and I'm like, oh, you. No wonder Father says, you of little faith, been tossed with tempest to and fro from the earth. Now, not that I go to and fro from the earth. That's what Satan says. But it's that I've been shaken to and from the earth, which means at the ends of the world, which means from many nations and cities, and you know the turbulations, and that's what it means when you've been shaken and been dragged to one side and then to the other. So now this is amazingly well done of this devotion because it has encouraged me greatly. And again, these videos are for free. You don't have to donate. You don't have to pay me anything. For I will find a job. For I'm grown enough to be out there. So our Father has calmed my thoughts and took me a little bit to calm down. Because you know how we are as human beings, and the Father knows how we are as human beings. We always constantly wander around like sheep. What if this happens? What if that happens? We're always concerned of all sorts of things. But anyways, let me read this poem so we can get the conversation finished up. I know, this is very exquisite dish from the wildflowers. The reason why I say wildflowers is because the things that God creates is just astonishingly beautiful. I mean, to our human eyes, that is beautiful, but to God, those things are pretty much like nothing, just pebbles of rocks. Maybe the smaller you are, the more astonishing it can be viewed as. But I will find out more details from our King Almighty um, once this life is over for me. But it isn't, so I need to keep going, and wherever God leads me. I would be quite lost, like a sheep, were it not for God. Again, I need Him to lead me. I cannot go anywhere near anywhere else just by trusting my emotion, just by trusting my thoughts. No, they don't save me. And surely trusting myself, ugh, I can barely go around this world. To me, it's enormous. While I do consider myself to be quite small uh, towards this world, only Father can make me something wonderful. And the rest of you, children of God, I'm not gonna exclude you guys because you guys are part of this family. So that is the reality. Regardless if one person comes on to this channel, may your soul be at peace and be saved by the King Almighty. Be saved, it means your strength renewed and your soul to be uplifted by the King Almighty. So you'll stay still and know that He is all powerful, omnipotent Father who is there to support you, not to discourage you or harm you, not to force you to do things that you that you cannot handle, that you can do more than you can handle. Um, if that makes sense, because it's but anyways, let me read this the poem. It's amazingly short, but it is powerful. Now let the feeble all be strong, and make Jehovah's arm their song. Yep, I'm definitely keeping this one, because this is strong. It's short, but wow, it is amazing. Come on, there we go. I'm keeping this one. See, the words of the Bible can be a light and a lamp toward onto your feet. It's like a treasure trove of a chest. Since a lot of people like a treasure, and so when we open up the Bible, that's like a treasure trove. You're more than welcome to share these devotions with your kids also, because it's more than inspiring, and they can handle it. I'll mature them and making sure that they're prepared for the world, because you all are seeing what's happening. Even to my mind, I'm like, what the heck is going on down here? What all this nonsense going around? It's crazy how fast people get influenced by so-called culture, uh, quote and quote, quote end of quote, culture. They call it. What difference does it make when we all are in the hands of the Almighty? Who cares what kind of race or color you are? Does not matter. Does not mean that you cannot invite immigrants into the United States. There's bountiful amount of stuff, and people just keep it on their lock and key. No wonder those raiders went on, because the government was being too harsh. So they probably got sick and tired of it. So some of these things do happen for a reason, but it does not mean that I should not call them out as evil, because it is bad that they're stealing and all those gamblers. But again, how would we feel if we were on the streets? I mean, it does not mean that we should steal at all, though. I'm not trying to come up with excuses here. I'm trying to point out the reasoning. Because while the government itself was stocking their pockets, well, they were getting a lot of other people angry, and so their behavior got worse. So they probably had no choice but to steal. So that's what happens. It is bad and evil and satanic, but at the same time, God can use those situations for the betterment. although those people are most capable of doing evil themselves, and which they already have done, because they're under influence of idols and objects. Which is why I continue to finish up the sentence before anyone or me comes to conclusions. Oh man, the funny thing is, my family continues to correct me how I hold my fork or spoon. I guess it's the. It's amazing. It's something little, but it's something that I developed a habit to do. I was holding the fork and spoon incorrectly, so I mean, it's one of the unique traits, I guess. You can distinguish between God's children and the rest of the world. You can spot us easily. We may be weird and all, but God puts us to humility very quickly. And God cheers us up like crazy. My. Still astonishes me. And my mind and my heart cannot comprehend what He has made. The most intriguing thing is joy to Him. For He is love, but He yearns to understand joy. For He does understand it, but to Him it's a very peculiar joy. As we feel joy, but not the joy that He feels when He takes us into His arms. And yes, I cannot even imagine His joy, but what a wonderful thing to contemplate about. Contemplate is the same as thinking, but contemplate is a deeper meaning word of to go beyond thought, which means you could try to imagine it, but you cannot. But it the thinking process and to contemplate is a different manner of word in order to go a little bit deeper more than thinking, if that makes sense. So this is what's so amazing. It opens up your eyes more deeper if you read the scriptures, and not only you will find God explains it all about His creation, about science, about many of His attributes within His Word. It is the letters to Israel and to the church. I know this is random and out of topic, but it still stuns me that people gravitate other gullible sheep, gullible sheep. Well, I'll let the Lord deal with them because I have no right to be in it. Only when Father allows me to be part of it, then I'll be in there. Um, but it still shocks me that people constantly and continuously force others to pay for the scriptures. For God Himself says, "Come, come." For those who are heavy laden and heavy burdened, for He will lay His yoke upon you, and He will give you rest. For He gives it freely. And Father says, take as much as you want, for it will satisfy you, more than satisfy you. Still shocks me. I was mad how some companies take advantage and stock their pockets. This is why I'm going to stop donating money. This is insanity. They're trying to rob you out of your own hard sweat and tears and bone aching and muscle sores of your life. The hard earning that you worked so hard to earn. Not by scamming, not by bribing, but just living. Living out in reality and for God's glory. For laboring for what is honest and necessary. Stop giving them money. Yes, they need food and shelter and all those sorts, just like everybody else on earth. But it does not mean that they should stock up their pockets like greedy dragons. They continuously to push the tithing like it's okay. I mean, to some extent, in some churches, it is all right. But just to say, oh, we're going to give it to the poor while they don't do it. It's insanity. Which is why I made this free entirely. And I was wondering, and Father was showing me, because I have found the camera down here. I can show you down here. You I think every phone feature has this. If it's like a next generation of a phone that they upgraded. So this feature down here, screen recorder, this is what I'm using. This is what it makes it free, and I mean, only I can edit it and nobody else. So this is a recording, and then I post it on YouTube. They're stuffing the pockets. They're manipulating many minds. Stop going to them and go to the Father, and you'll see the abundance and joy of His splendor. Seriously, we are not joking about the Bible being real. For it is. You can actually match this book with Father's creation. And as I was explaining in many other videos, there's vegetation, there is sun, there is sky, there is stars, there's water, there's Bethlehem, there's Israel, there is the ancient ruins of Roman Empire left. And they continuously discover more things and dig out more artifacts and so on. The chariot's wheel on the Red Sea they recently found. Noah's Ark. I think it is cypress wood. Cypress wood. Oh man, it's good stuff. It's very ancient too, so no wonder they found Noah's Ark shaped like a boat. It's like information of. It must have been amazing. It's God's power indeed, because cypress wood normally does not just turn into a rock all of a sudden. You can tell that God has something to do with it. For his mighty arms do move. It's amazing. And that's what I've noticed is how in the world can wood turn into a rock all of a sudden? And being shaped like a boat. That's very intriguing detail that I found out. That gentleman from the archaeology who came to discover Noah's Ark. Which is why in this life I will continuously to seek Father the Almighty, because this is like brand new stuff to me, and I know the world gets complicated and twisted and dark, but I gotta keep my eyes onto the Almighty Father, because it's astonishing to me. It gets me all excited. Even I try to pay attention to the detail that Father has created, but sometimes even to this fleshly body that I have is too much and takes its toll on my brain and on my organs. Organs are the rest of body functions that you have inside your shell, I would call it, because Father puts our souls into this body. Without a soul, you can't function. You're just it's a blob of flesh. Anyways, this is so amazingly fascinating, but you all do some research because you'll find some details. It's very amazing. Still, I do not know how God did it, but it's for His amazing glory. That's for sure. Because that's the smallest detail I found out. Because there is no way that wood could survive that long, and yet it turned into a rock, solid rock. It must have been a special wood, which is called cypress wood, and cypress is a very ancient name too. There's not much of cypress wood left. I can tell you that right now. I mean, you can probably find some, but and maybe is a rare wood. But that is the reality. And what's fun about the reality is Father goes far and beyond. So whenever people say, "Oh, I don't believe in God," so what you're saying is that you just self existed before on your own on this world. Evidently not, because you're surrounded by other thousands of human beings and plus billions of beings, human beings. So therefore, they're not gods. They're nothing to write home about. But God, on the other hand, is amazing. So it is to towards his blessings and abundance of his and encouragement and the glory of his and the praises may go to him. Um, and then may God Almighty be with you all, restoring peace, order when things are chaotic. And I shall see you all within this evening, regardless of how this next devotion will be. Um, may God our Father guide us through it, and may our emotions don't get involved too much into it. And I shall see you all in a pleasant evening of mundane mystery. There is something different of new speech and new words to learn. I like that word, mundane. Means a mystery also. But they're not the same words, are they? Nope, we can all tell the difference. Anyways, Stealth Squad out.